Planche isn't about shoulder, tricep or bicep strength? You are silly if you thought that, because you will learn planche quicker not by doing weighted dips or handstand push-ups, but thanks to how you will grip the bar. You can be the weakest guy on earth, but if you will grip the bar correctly, then boom, full planche achieved ultra fast. That's basically what Jacked Vegan's video will tell us. But is it true? What the hell was that voice? Hell nah! The real reason why your planche progress is so slow is because you are expecting to hold your whole 60, 70 or 80 kgs body on these two little sticks. Which brings us to my two videos where I explained when you should start thinking about skills and why you shouldn't train legs, which is the most important thing.
Not using this technique hack might be the reason why your planche progress is so slow.
What if I told you that no technique tip or something will help you if you are not strong enough? Because yeah, I can tell this guy to not pike at hips, but for what would it be? This sinking planche is caused by that your shoulders, biceps, triceps and basically your whole upper body is too weak to hold it with the correct form. Good technique comes from being strong, not the other way. What? Imagine that somehow I will give you the strength that Lysans has, and of course you will suddenly be able to do the planche with this form. Basically everything you will see in today's video can be answered by saying you are weak, so get stronger. So get ready, because you will probably hear this a lot in this video.
And it probably reduced that time by about 40%.
Don't know where he took that number, but okay.
I see a lot of people, they have kind of a broken grip, where whenever you grab the bar,
I just simply laugh when two calisthenics athletes are discussing it like it is a rocket science to learn planche, front lever or something. But basically this whole tip will be about that you shouldn't grip the bar these two ways. The first one is the broken grip, or like that's how they call it. And the second is kind of like holding onto the bar only with the half of your hand, which is caused by not being strong enough. But we'll get to that later. The grip you should actually use, and I think that everybody starts their planche with it, is this one. You know, having all fingers touching the bar in the best scenario, while simultaneously trying to twist the bar, which should give you the elevation and mainly progress faster, which is a total bull.
So the grip is very important because you want to maintain height between the ground and your body.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
The more height you have, the easier it is to perform a lot of dynamic movements such as the push-up or the press.
Sure, but in order to maintain height, you gotta be strong.
When you kind of lean a bit too forward, you're gonna activate the anterior chain of the arm. That means the more of the biceps, the forearms and the shoulders. And then what's gonna happen is you end up leaning and plunging down even more. And that's when you lose height and elevation.
And that's again because you are skipping progressions, for example. But basically, if you don't have the strength, for like a millionth time, you don't have strong shoulders, biceps, triceps to maintain that high position, you will end up sinking down into that lower position, oftentimes with banana form, which is a lot easier to hold. Mike the Sane does it, for example, because he jumps into planche with good form, and as his horse gets longer, he sinks down since he's losing power and tries to hold it for a little bit more. That's not caused by your wrist leaning forward, but you being weak, which can be followed by your wrists losing contact with the bar, so you relieve a lot of pressure.
As you saw, my grip was actually affecting my form in the hold.
Not strong enough.
Here, I get a lot more height compared to compressing. I'm falling forward.
But who does planche like this? Nobody! In the beginning. This has a lot to do with your center of mass, because if you will look like vegan right here with big legs, you will end up sinking down a lot in your full planche if you are not strong enough to hold those heavy legs in that height they are talking about. This has nothing to do with grip.
One of the most common problems I see when people perform planche, especially on the grip aspect, if you have a loose grip, that way you can't really apply strength. Usually you will fall forward. That's a consequences of like leaning forward from the planche, and you don't have a grip, and that way you are gonna be resisting the planche.
And shouldn't you resist? Because if you wouldn't, you will fall forward. Man, what the hell is this? If you wanna planche, you gotta stop resisting it. Okay, I'm not resisting. Look at Didenko doing planche presses and it looks like he isn't even gripping the gripping those purlets. I'm not saying that this tip was bad or something like that. But firstly, this grip uses everyone, or like, who in the name of the Lord grips the bar like this at the beginning of his holds? And secondly, they are saying like, if your grip is weak, then you will fall forward. But in reality, you fall forward because you have weak upper body. And so this thing with grip is only a consequence of it. If you don't have the strength from all the push-ups, dips and so on, nothing will help you to get out of that plateau. Because what do you expect? You think that by changing your grip will make your long stick suddenly being able to hold those 80 kgs? And now onto the front lever tips.
Like from the start here, he's got about 2-3 second hold front lever, so he's a little bit bent. Why is this happening? The first one is always really gonna come down fundamentally to strength. The second reason this might be happening is also just due to hip activation.
It's happening because he's weak, period. End of the video. No technique tip will help him to magically go from barely holding 3 seconds with piked hips to straight front lever for those same 3 seconds. But getting stronger at weighted pull-ups, bicycle fans like to hear this, or advanced stack front lever pull-ups will help him. Here again, as I mentioned earlier, if I would give you the strength that Lysans or Larosa has, for example, you would get the straight front lever immediately. He's spiking at the hips for a reason, and that's to and that's to shorten the lever. If he would have the strength, there is no reason to pike, since you can do whatever you want in the front lever. Form comes with strength.
So the better your retraction is, the better your activation of these muscles here, the more stable you're going to be in the front lever. So the better your retraction is, the better your activation of these muscles here.
Better activation of back muscles if you do retraction? Retraction disengages legs. You wanna know what will happen? You won't ever front lever. If you disengage the most important muscle in front lever, you will end up holding yourself with what? With arms, and I can guarantee you, you're not gonna ever learn it. So basically, if you will apply it now to your front lever journey, you will actually end up from straddle front lever, for example. It may be advanced stack front lever, because, you know, you will disengage the most important muscle in the front lever. And if you are just learning the front lever, you are not a god, so you can't hold yourself only with your arms, or I don't know, with what you want.
When we have our grip, we're gonna start bending the bar.
Here again, thinking that you will progress suddenly super fastly when you will try to bend the bar is naive. Same like with the planche grip. Your or my long sticks, plus of course the back, are not able to hold our body in the front lever. So, what we should do? What we should do? Bend the bar. No, get them more muscular and stronger, and not only them but mainly the back. I know it is really annoying, but once more, if you are strong, you will learn the front lever no matter how you will grip the bar. If you are weak, nothing will help you. And therefore even these videos are useless. Plus I think the vegan is the last person on earth which still believes in retraction. Like it means something when Lysans, Larosa, Kamenov, or basically any other top level athlete doesn't do front lever with retraction, but more likely slightly protracted or neutral, which is the way always, neutral top. But of course I can comment it because I can front lever, so to this video I will connect what won't work if you are not muscular enough this time. Because if you watch my videos, you know that to do skills you gotta be muscular, so you even have a chance to gain the strength needed for skills. This gives you already a little hint that basically anything you will do for front lever, for example, raises, negatives, holds, pull-ups, bended holds. Basically anything won't work if you won't have those muscles. Well, it will work for some time, but then you will plateau, since all these ways of learning skills don't really build muscles. And so there won't be no new space where to store that strength. A great example was my 6 years long front lever journey full of plateaus, which I managed to break only when I had built a little bit of new muscles. So I could progress a little bit forward, but eventually and mainly very quickly I ended up in plateau again. One of the biggest problems athletes have is thinking that raises, negatives and so on are strength builders. But actually you should take them just as a way how to teach those muscles what they should do. I can explain to you how to invest money, to buy a Bitcoin and so on. But for what is it if you are homeless without any cash? So it's the same with skills. If you don't have the muscles needed, which nobody knows the exact mass you need since everybody's different, but doing bended holds won't help you. Doing planche leans won't help you. Remember that the thing which is moving you forward are basics, not skills. The wider base you have, the higher the peak will be or could be. So stop searching secret hacks, tips and so on, because the only tip which is really worth mentioning is to get strong. But in order to be strong, you gotta be muscular. That's it.